سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. الماكيرو جيدلا الماكيرو جيدا الملاكيرو جيدي الملاكيرو جيدي علي بانكوزو كيدلا علي بانكوزو كيدلا بجاه النبي المصطفى يا رب إن شاء الله وصلي على محمد.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Madi Ceesay. I'm Director General National Center for Arts and Culture, playing the role of Masters of Ceremonies upon the invitation of my good brother and Dombai, Honorable Madi Ceesay. I want to start to offer the courtesies needed to the distinguished guests of the high table, starting with His Excellency, Honorable Hussein M. Dabo. Your Excellency, thank you for coming and for supporting our writers. I also want to recognize the presence of His Excellency, Mr. Bakari Bunja Dabo. Your Excellency, you are welcome. You are sitting deep inside, 2 rows inside, but you are highly welcome. I also want to recognize the presence of the book launchers, starting with Mrs. Sally Jarju. Sally, you are welcome. Also, Mr. Nyada Balde, sitting in for Mr. Fode Balde. Mr. Balde, you are welcome. I also want to welcome a friend of the authors, Mr. Bakari Sani. Mr. Sani, you are welcome. I want to also welcome the author himself, that's Honorable Madi Ceesay, MK Ceesay. Honorable, I welcome you. I know you are hot off the plane, but we are happy to be associated with this, scholarly and intellectual, event. I also want to welcome the veteran broadcaster and diplomat, Mr. Member Tambil. Mr. Tambil, you are welcome. I am doing this, partly because I want to interview you on something. So but we'll talk about that later. I want to welcome the friends of the author who are here present, and particularly the family and the organizing committee. Our WhatsApp group is very, very lively. For the past 3 months, a lot of people, have worked to make this event, possible, today. I want to welcome everybody, members of the press. And now, I should say that I met, Honorable Madi at Pirai Tenda, 2 years ago. I was there to grace a book launch, and as we were driving, I was driving with him to the to the tender, from the main village to the tender. I encouraged him to write a memoir of his days as an active and fearless journalist during the Yahya Jammeh regime, editing and also being the proprietor of the Daily News. He laughed, but as we traveled towards the riverside, he promised that he was going to take up the challenge. After many months, he came to my office at the National Museum and told me, Dombai, I have gone very far with the manuscript. I asked him what manuscript. He said, well, you remember when we were at Pirai? I said, oh, that is wonderful. Soon, he did not only send me a draft of the book we are about to launch here today, called Journalism, Is It a Blessing or a Curse? Okay, but he also brought along transcripts of interviews that he was doing with Jaliba Kuyateh, the king of Kora, and one of the great, cultural prides and exports of our country. And this manuscript has morphed into the biography of Jaliba that we are also going to launch tonight. Now, another few months passed, and Honorable Madi came with a draft for the book on the rise and fall of the Jammeh dictatorship. He admitted that he was working simultaneously on the 3 books. Of course, I was impressed, because as a writer myself, I fully appreciate the amount of energy, time, and attention needed to even complete writing one book. But when he told me this, 3 things came to my mind. 1, you can never be too old, too busy to write and contribute to knowledge. 2, your story should be told because it can be interesting and edifying. And number 3, as Gambians, we need to write the Gambian story first. Let other people quote us. If you write it first, others who are non-Gambian, if they are writing about the same topic, they will cite us, they will quote us first. So those are 3 things, 3 lessons I was able to deduce from Honorable Madi's effort. On this brief note, I wish to commend the author for the triplets. This is solely a value added to Gambian scholarship. Honorable, congratulations. Congratulations on the effort. Now, having said this, I want to call upon the representative of the publisher. The publisher is Mr. Fode Balde we follow the publishers, and he's represented here by his younger brother, Mr. Nyada Balde, who in his own right is also a writer of great standing. Just before I mounted the podium, he was telling me that he has 2 manuscripts ready. So Mr. Balde, you are welcome to speak from your seat there to give the publisher's statement. Thank you.
I say good evening, Madi Ceesay, for eloquently making of these statements. At the same time, also you are in the right position. I fully understand why Madi had to make you the person organizing the people making remarks. Now, I am speaking on behalf of Fode Balde, who could not attend because he is ill. He is the publisher of Fuladu Publishers, and I have worked with him as well. As Hasuma said, I have published 6 books so far, and I have 3 manuscripts in the making. Now, I'm also here representing the people of Pirai in Upper River region, and also the people of Kerawan Sambasira in Central River region, in Lower Fuladu West in particular. This is because Madi, who is called Jabelo in Kerawan Sambasira, if you say Madi, in Kerawan they may know him but confuse him with maybe another Madi. But if you say Jabelo, they will understand. He and his brother Janko, late Janko Ceesay, and the father came to Kerawan long time ago. This must be around late 60s. His brother was very close to me. We grew up together in Kerawan Sambasira, and unfortunately he passed away. For Madi, known as Jabelo, is of course, as I've said, my Mandinka younger brother. I'm full of his Mandinka, but he's still my brother. And I continue to advise him, and I have found him to be very disciplined. He accepts my advice. Even when he was the chairman of the Gambia Press Union, I advised him, and this was under very difficult times, under a dictatorial dispensation, and I used to advise him that always work on consensus. Don't make unilateral decisions. If you work on consensus, meaning working with your colleagues, a decision your colleagues and you made, then you will have the support of your colleagues. And at that time, if you make unilateral decisions and there is a problem, they may say, well, you made the decision without their consultations. So I used to warn him, and he heeded to my warning. Madi is a self-made person. This is the least to say about him. I am 70 years old, but I have not seen anybody in the Gambia having achieved what Madi has achieved during his short lifespan. Of course, he is my brother, that's why I'm saying his short lifespan. He probably is 60-something right now. Madi has made significant efforts to succeed in life by being, one, tolerant, hardworking, and optimistic in whatsoever he is doing. If you read the story, or the journalism, whether a blessing or a curse, what Madi has gone through, and his courage to continue under those circumstances, dictatorial dispensation, very few Gambians would have taken that. They would have either left this country or would have given up journalism. But Madi continued despite the hardship he has gone through under detention. I really sympathize with him for that. And now I would encourage people, well, first, before even saying encourage people, his major significant achievement is coming from Tirai, from Kerawan Sambasira, and representing the people of Serakunda West in Parliament as a National Assembly member for Serakunda West. Maybe it has been achieved here, but I cannot recall. I'm 70 years old in this country, and even before the country became independent, I was involved. My father was chairman of the UP, United Democratic Party in Kerawan Sambasira. You had Honorable Dabo's late father, Numukunda Dabo, Michael Balde, Asan Musa Kamara, MC Jallo, MC Chan, even Michael Balde, who used to come to Kerawan Sambasira because my father was chairman of the the United Party, well before independence in the early 60s. So I am familiar with politics in the Gambia, but somebody coming from Tirai, Kerawan Sambasira, to represent Serakunda West at the National Assembly for the second term is a major achievement. And we really have to thank him. He hasn't obtained a degree, but he has contributed so far significantly, for which degree holders and every Gambian should be proud of. Now, his 3 books add to they add value to the reading and writing culture that we have in this country. Now, there are many Gambians whose stories, as Hasim has said, need to be told. But how many Gambians are writing? Very few. The current generation is picking it up. Yeah, the Forum for Gambian Writers is coming up. There are people who are also writing. Hasim has been encouraging people to write. The few who are writing, their books are being read, and I think that we are encouraging young Gambians to write. There are great people in this country whose stories could have benefited this country greatly. I always cite, may Allah give him Jannatul Firdausi and all the Muslims that are passed in this country, including President Jawara as well, the late Dr. Lamin Marena. I wish he had also written something about agriculture, because he is a pioneer in the development of the agriculture sector in this country. But unfortunately, he passed away, he has not written. I think that Madi's efforts in writing is adding value, as I've said, to the reading and writing culture, and inspiring all of us who are here. Because right now, if you ask, by the way, I bought the book, I've read the 2 books, I'm reading the 3rd book. How many of us here have read a book this year? Very few. In fact, the other question, if you ask, how many of us here has written a book? How many have written a book? Or who has written a book in the last 1 year or in our lifetime? Very few. Why? Even if you are not a writer, there is somebody who can help you. That's why we have the Fulani publishers. Therefore, the Bale is 30 years experience. He was in Nigeria, a publisher, and he came here, he has been publishing.
Sorry.
Welcome. Before I continue, maybe Sasun, you need to introduce
sorry for coming late.
no.
Sorry that for coming late, I was in Soma.
Thank you. You understand. You understand. Okay. Now, to conclude, there is so much Madi has achieved, and I'm sure he is exemplary in managing the affairs of his family, his own business, and journalism in this country. And politically, he is interested and is working hard to add value to the national development of the country as well. Now, I would encourage all the young people to take Madi as an example and follow his footsteps, especially his sons and daughters. They may be interested in different things, but I'm sure they are proud that their father has achieved so much, and we wish them success to do better than their father. Thank you all very much.
Yeah, you can put off your mic. Thank you very much, Mr. Balde. Your statement is well noted, and thank you for your kind words to the author. I want to welcome Her Lordship, the Mayor of Banjul. Mayor, you are welcome. Now the next item on the agenda is to have another statement, this time from a friend of the authors, Mr. Bakari Sani. Mr. Sani, the floor is yours, please.
Good evening, everybody. I'm very happy about this man's statement, Mr. Balder's statement. But if he has concluded without calling Madi Ceesay Jabiro, then I would slowly say that, well, he doesn't know Madi. But the moment he said that Jabiro, then I knew that he knows Madi, not from this area here. Okay, let me just start by saying, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to stand before you today to launch 3 books authored by my dear friend and brother, Madi M.K. Ceesay, a remarkable achievement indeed. One of these books is his memoir, Journalism is Not a Crime. Our story began many years ago amid the bustling hallways of Latrikunda Secondary School. It was 1972. We were just a group of 5 friends from various parts of rural Gambia, navigating the trials and tribulations of adolescence and of urban life. Esa Sao, Bakar Sanyang, Bokar Kinte, Madi Ceesay, and my humble self, we were inseparable. For Madi, who hails from rural district of Tumanna in the Upper River region, and I from Foni in the West Coast, ended up forming a special bond, a friendship that has endured the test of some very difficult time. Life, as it often does, took us on different paths. Madi pursued his passion for education, while I ventured into the world of finance that was press consultant on the Ministry of Finance. Yet, fate, it seems, had other plans. My dreams of going to the UK didn't materialize, and I found myself drawn back to the classroom and to Madi. We were reunited at the college, sharing not just a room, but our dreams, aspirations, and countless conversations. From college, Madi led to journalism, a career that would shape his life, leave an indelible mark on our nation. No spoiler here. You don't have to read the books to get the rest of the story. Madi the journalist. I, on the other hand, found myself in development work, but our friendship remained a constant and a source of support and camaraderie. Yes, years later, Madi's vision gave birth to the media agenda, a media rights organization that gave birth to his newspaper, the Daily News. I joined him as the manager, and together we recreated, nurtured this platform for truth and accountability. Even our political differences were evident. Madi, a staunch UDP supporter, and I, a loyal APRC advocate, would engage in passionate debates, our voices echoing through the newsroom at the time. But our friendship, like a sturdy ship, weathered the storm of political division. Our Suebu Konate, our wise editor, once observed our ability to argue fiercely and then share a meal together was a testament to enduring power of friendship. Politics, we decided, would not break the bond we had forged. When Madi faced the darkest hour of his career, arrested of his career, arrested and treated severely for his unvarying commitment to the truth. He confided in me. Reluctantly, he shared his pain, his fears, and his resilience. And in that moment, our friendship transcended to ordinary. It became a brotherhood, a family. But he warned me never to tell his family. He did not want the ordeal he faced to have an impact on his family. It was moments like that one is forced to pursue and reflect. Journalists who risk their lives to feed our hunger for information, for truth, to inform our decision making, are not robots. They are also human beings. They are fathers, mothers, and brothers. Through Madi, I met countless remarkable individuals, expanding my circle of friendship and colleagues. And he in turn has become part of my family, sharing our joys and sorrows. Today, as we witness the launch of his autobiography, I feel with pride and admiration. Madi's story is not just his own. It is a reflection of our nation's journey. Its struggle and its triumph. It's a statement, it is a testament of the power of journalism. The courage of those who speak the truth to power, and the enduring strength of friendship. Madi, my brother, I am honored to stand beside you today. Your story is an inspiration to us all. I thank you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sani. That was quite a very, emotional, testimony on your long-lasting friendship, and brotherhood with the author. I want to thank you for the moral support that you have given to the author, and I also pray that your brotherhood, continues to grow. Now I will call upon a family member of the authors. The authors family is here. I was seeing in the WhatsApp group, apparently there is Ceesay 1, there is Ceesay 2, there's even I think Ceesay 3, Ceesay Kunda 3. We are invited to go to Ceesay Kunda 1, this afternoon for lunch. So I will call on Ami. Ami is a daughter to the author, that's Madi Ceesay, to come and give a statement of moral support to the author. Ami, you are welcome.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Distinguished guest of honor, former Vice President and Foreign Affairs Minister, Secretary General and leader of the United Democratic Party, Honorable Lawyer Ousainou Darboe, editor and publisher of Fuladu Publishers, Uncle Fode Balde, invited guest, all other protocols observed. As the youngest member of the Ceesay family and the daughter of the author, Honorable Madi Ceesay, I seize this opportunity to thank you all on behalf of my father, Honorable Madi Ceesay, my sisters, my brothers, and the entire Ceesay Kunda family. Without this huge support, this event would not have been possible. We are grateful for your support. We, the children and wives, owe much to you, to your unflinching support, and want to register our continuous appreciation and wish that our father is given more strength and good health to do more of this kind of writings. Father, we are proud of you, so much so that we cannot express. Our father is a veteran journalist, politician with a difference and prolific writer, who authored 3 books within the period of 3 months. I can't conclude without thanking the entire launching committee under the able leadership of Modungom. So Modungom, with your team, Allah Baraka Bake. Thank you all, and I urge each of you to buy one or more copies of our book, copies for publication. Thank you all. Regards, Ami Ceesay.
You say a poem in Mandinka about your father. Go ahead.
In Mandinka?
Yes. Praise your father. All what you have said in English.
Okay. Assalamualaikum. Malbe konton kang. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ntelem Ami Ceesay. Madi Ceesay la chat muso. Madi Ceesay de amu molati me yalonko adingol be prouta adingol be prouta be nyame. We are all proud of him and amu book soferality foga pare fanang amu député olati Serekunda West constituency. Nine bekela la tam fulanjango aba la tam fulanjango la to parliamento. Fama de mul kontanta la koto bakele fang. We are very proud of him and at a fango yo wolone so ninko mbedi amula bakate bete ala matu ngadan di jandor.
Well done. Well done, well done. Well done, Ami. Well done, Ami. Well done, Ami. From daughter to father. Well done, Ami. Thank you very much. Thank you. And thank you for the kind words. Dedicated to your hardworking. Father. Now I have the singular honor to move into the book launch proper. I want to start that segment by calling on Mrs. Sally Jarju. Sally is the president of the Association of Health Journalists of the Gambia, a senior producer at GRTS, and also a veteran broadcaster. Sally, you are welcome. You can speak from your seat, but I know as a broadcaster you have no fright for microphones. If you like, also you can come and speak from here. But you are welcome and thank you for coming.
Thank you. I choose to stand because in the Gambia we have norms and tradition, and I'm seated with some distinguished personalities, though not at the same level when it comes to ranking. So I decided to stand and talk to them rather than be seated at the same level with them. I extend my sincere greetings to the best and the iconic moderator for this event. You couldn't have got the best ever, Honorable Ceesay, because this guy is the model for the Gambia. And whenever I meet with him, it's emotional. Emotional in the sense that I remember two people, two great journalists of this country. One is his late brother, who was our colleague, Habibu Ceesay, and the other one, also a Ceesay, Buba SM Ceesay, my former late husband. So whenever I see him, I remember a lot, but then I recall about those people. So this guy here, even though it's not his moment, but I want to talk about him because he is an in-law and an uncle who used to be a mentor to my late husband. So Mr. Hazem Ceesay, I'm always proud of you, and whenever I see you, I know that Gambia has someone to be proud of.
Thank you, sir.
So I also want to say good evening to the man of the moment, Honorable Madi Ceesay, and congratulations for this great achievement. His Excellency, the former Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia, the able Secretary General of the United Democratic Party, Baba Usainu Dabo, good evening to you too. Good evening to the members of the Ceesay family, the children, the wives, and the extended relatives of Honorable Ceesay. Good evening to your friend, the loyal friend. It has been a long journey, but he is still found with you. I admire that friendship. Good evening to my colleague lunches, Her Lordship, the pride of every woman. Good evening to you, Rocky Malick Lowe. In absentia, Jaliba Kuyateh, I'm sure he will join us later. Mr. Balde, on behalf of Mr. Fode Balde, good evening to you all. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow members of the Association of Health Journalists in particular, and the media fraternity by extension. And I would not proceed without also acknowledging the presence of my dear husband, Tijan Boja. Thank you for joining me this evening. Before I begin the statement, I request a moment of silence from all of us here. A moment of prayers, because we are talking about the dark days of journalism. And we cannot talk about journalism here in the previous era without remembering those who've lost their lives, including the former proprietor or co-proprietor of Point newspaper, the Hydra, Ibrahim Chief Mani, and my able brother, Dudu Sane, a former colleague, and all others who have lost their life just for being a journalist. So I request sincerely a moment of silence for all of them here. Thank you. And may their souls and all departed souls rest in Jannatul Firdausi. Ladies and gentlemen, let me first congratulate again Honorable Ceesay and the entire organizing committee for this important event. It's a great honor and privilege to stand before you this evening on behalf of the Association of Health Journalists in particular and the entire media fraternity of the Gambia in general to launch this remarkable book, Journalism, Is It a Blessing or a Curse? Authored by no other person but our own distinguished journalist, parliamentarian, and a human rights champion, the first and honorary life president of the Association of Health Journalists, the Gambia, Honorable Madi Ceesay. Some may wonder, why am I standing here on behalf of the Association of Health Journalists? The story goes this way. Over 2 decades and a half, Honorable Ceesay and other prominent journalists in the Gambian media, with support from the WHO, NANA, and the Ministry of Health, conceived the idea of establishing a media organization charged with health reporting. Due to his outstanding characteristics, particularly when he was the president of the Gambia Press Union, Honorable Ceesay was entrusted with spearheading the Association of Health Journalists, a role he played admirably. Since then, the Association of Health Journalists has been his baby. Honorable Ceesay has provided both technical and financial support to both the past and the present members of this body. Despite his busy schedule as a parliamentarian and also as a father, he will always have time to attend to the request of this able association. Frankly, let me state on record, without this man sitting here, the Association of Health Journalists would have been dead, because we went through a difficult time and he stood to make sure that the association comes to light. The opportunity for us to be part of this historic moment is a clear manifestation of his love for the Association of Health Journalists. So that is just a gist of why we are so proud of him and we are associated with this important ceremony. Now to the book launch. Journalism, is it a blessing or a curse? It is not mere a reflection of a story. It is a reflection of a true life of Honorable Ceesay, from childhood, educational journey, as well as his career, including journalism, to the real sacrifices and unjust maltreatment he and other journalists endured during the dictatorship. Their only crime was speaking for the voiceless and contributing to national discourse. The title itself provokes a lot of thought. Journalism, is it a blessing for the Gambia or was it a curse? This question encapsulates an era when journalists face unending threats, attack, arrest, murder, and censorship at both individual and institutional levels. It also led to the closure of media houses, including that he was working for, which was the independent newspaper. Sometimes journalists had to even abandon their profession or leave their beloved nation just because they were speaking the truth. Due to the limited time we have for this occasion, I wouldn't be able to go deep into each of the chapters of the 5 books, but let's look at what these chapters brought for us. The first chapter is Becoming a Journalist. This chapter provides us with a detailed account of how Honorable Ceesay started his life at the childhood age, talking about his family and his ancestors. It also gave us an understanding of his educational and journalism career, which dated back to 1977, when he was a student at the then Yundum College, now called the Gambia College. He also contributed to the newspaper of that media house, and I am inspired after reading that Kibaro newspaper should be a newspaper in the Gambia, because it signifies what we do, even though we have the name in English, which is news. So the author also details, the chapter also details Honorable Ceesay's career progression from the news and report magazine owned by the late Uncle Swaibo Konate to the independent newspaper, and also established his own media agenda and the daily newspaper. In chapter 2, Caught in the Crossfire, Arrests and Tortures, this is where the dark side started. Here the author recounts on the arrest of the entire staff of the independent newspaper, from the caretaker to the general manager himself, the caretaker. Can you imagine? After a story about the 2006 attempted coup was published by the newspaper, and I quote in one of the chapters, or one of the paragraphs of chapter 2. I was taken to a large hall where I found almost all members of the independent newspaper staff. I thought this must have nothing to do with the coup. It must be related to something we might have published. Then the author tried to vividly recall most of their publications to be able to figure out what crime have they committed to be arrested. However, Honorable Ceesay went on to describe the constant fear and horrid experiences of searching for his colleagues, knowing he himself was at risk of being arrested. This chapter also captures this disheartening treatment not only of Musa and Honorable Ceesay, but all those who were in custody at the time of detention at the notorious National Intelligence Agency. Chapter 3, fast forward, entitled Arrest, Detention and Torture, further illustrates how arrest and detention was the order of the day during Jammeh's era. People go to work and fear whether they will get back to their home and see their families. And that has been the case for Musa and Honorable Ceesay. This chapter also reflects on how Honorable Ceesay and Musa Sedika were unlawfully arrested, detained without due process, and inflicting so many pain and suffering just because of their work. The journey from Banjul Central Prison to the NIA campus was also captured. Conditions at both the Banjul Central police station and the NIA were also highlighted, considering that the cells were unbearable for even animals, more so humans. And I quote in a chapter, he said, the cells were tiny, or the cells are tiny, measuring about 1.5 meters to 1.5 meters. Can you imagine? The floor bare, with no container for urine, and I leave it there. Chapter 4, National and International Interventions. This chapter details the relentless efforts and interventions by local and international bodies during that trying times. It also stated about some of the news articles written by journalists to show solidarity, including one that was written by the Point newspaper about the arrest of both parties. The Fourier newspaper, 7 detainees released journalists Madi Ceesay and Musa Sedika among them. The solidarity did not end there, because the Gambia Press Union was lonely. Its president is in captive. They didn't relent, and as well the civil society organizations, both in the Gambia and beyond. Chapter 5, the last chapter of the book, finally brought in some blessings from Honorable Ceesay. He talked about his travels and other experiences. Key among them was his first trip to Ivory Coast, Abidjan, where he met some friends after a long time. He was the man of the moment, the hero who stood for all odds. Honorable Ceesay was also accorded a U.S. visit by the U.S. State Department. This visit opened many doors for him, because he visited some important media institutions in America and some cities like Florida, California, and New York itself. The journey, he states, highlights my commitment as a journalist to telling the truth and holding both those in power and those aspiring to be in power accountable, and that has been his strength. The book concludes with an extended account of Honorable Ceesay's testimony before the TRRC as one of Jammeh's victims of gross human rights violations. Chief Guest of Honor, fellow lunchers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Madi Ceesay was and remains a symbol of courage, resilience, and unwavering dedication to the principles of free speech and press freedom. This book, the take home for this book, it challenges us all to reflect on the hostile environment that the press was operating, denying them freedom of expression. And today we are delighted that in the Gambia we have a law called Access to Information. During the previous regime, the book also encourages or invites us to be in a conversation about the responsibilities of journalists, the power of the fourth estate, and the importance of truth in governance and public discourse. Today, as we launch this historic book, we celebrate not only the work of a man who has given so much for his nation, but the profession of journalism itself. Despite the causes, the hurdles, the tribulations, and the hardship that journalists went through then, today and ever, we can be proud of being a blessing to the Gambian people. With our pens and small microphones, the atrocities committed under the dictatorship were brought to light, informing the Gambian people and empowering them to free themselves from dictatorship after 22 years of suffering. Thanks to Honorable Ceesay and the brave men and women who work tirelessly behind the scenes. We are here today not just reflecting, but reaffirming our commitment to the values of truth, inclusion, justice, and accountability. I hope the Never Again slogan will endure, and that journalism will always be, or journalists will always be seen as partners to development and not enemies to the state. Journalism has also been a blessing to Honorable Ceesay, bringing him national and international recognition. He was invited by the State Department, like I said, in America, and to visit media outlets in 2005. And he obtained a certificate in mass media in Egypt 2001. He served as the president of the Association of Health Journalists, the Association of the Gambia Press Union, the vice president of West Africa Association of Journalists for 3 years, and most importantly, he received the International Press Freedom Award from the Committee to Protect Journalists in 2006, an award no Gambian journalist has ever received. Honorable has mentored and continued to mentor young aspiring and practicing journalists, many of whom continues to excel in media houses they work with. To Honorable Ceesay, we say thank you for your profound commitment. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for your sacrifices. And thank you for your relentless pursuit to truth. Your journey may have been one of resilience. Your advocacy and leadership have been crucial in the Gambia's landscape at a time when frequent attacks, imprisonment, and abuse made our nation one of the worst in Africa. This book we are launching today will undoubtedly inspire generations to come. You have fiercely paved the way for many of us. We as young practicing journalists are enjoying the fruits of your labor. Your life and work demonstrates that journalism remains a blessing, a beacon of hope, a pillar to democracy, and a voice of the voiceless. And finally, to Nandi, Madi Ceesay, daughter of Honorable Ceesay, whom this book is also dedicated to among many people. I love you, Nandi, without seeing you, without knowing you, or without coming in contact with you. Reading about your strides during those trying moments, and also trying to search for your father and getting him a lawyer to be freed, melts my heart as a daughter. You indeed represented us daughters very well. You are affirmed that commitment and the love and bond that makes a father-daughter relationship. Despite the difficult times your family was going in, every day and night you tried to check on your dad to know whether he is doing fine or not. And I remembered in the book where Honorable had you talking to one of the police officers, and that was also another emotional moment for him. Your bravery to look for your father, visiting police stations at the time when it was very risky. Not even elders would dare to do that. Shows that you are a true daughter of your father. So for some of you who still have your fathers with you, try to love them very much. And for us who do not have a father around, we continue to pray and mourn them and also love them dearly. So finally, everyone, I know I took a lot of time because journalists speak a lot. So more importantly, I urge us all to purchase all the books, but mostly this book, Journalism, Is It a Blessing or a Curse? Let's read. Uncle Balde stated something very important here. We as Gambians don't read. Even on social media, we just look at the headlines. And in the media or in the newspapers, we also read the headlines. But I challenge you to read this book. If you have forgotten the dark days, you will remember. If you don't know the significance of the journalist or media, it will also teach you. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor and privilege, on behalf of the Association of Health Journalists in particular, and the Gambian media and fraternity in general, to launch this book, Journalism, Is It a Blessing or a Curse? It was a blessing. It was a curse too. Thank you for your time. So I can't speak in Mandinka. Time has gone. Barimbal be ten tula minunata jang. Kaitandala kontol be nyanta yakala Honorable Ceesay adum fana nyanta jela ko banku din kendole mi yalon ko ay jamale ku jamale taki Gambia to yal. Boton kana nyina na mo kendola ni celebrate ngatare feni be kol yakono adum fana nga duwa tenten pour atenen do minu pija ise tenten ka safero ke kaitandi Gambia be soto ala baraka.
Thank you very much, Sally. Having read the book, twice over myself, I will say that you have given a faithful review of the contents of the book. I also want to, commend you for all the good work that you are doing at your own level, at the state broadcaster. I think, now that you have done such a powerful, review, I want to also suggest you polish it and then we publish it. Okay? Yes, for the record. Okay? And well done, Sally. Well done. We have a video, coming, a brief, biopic, if I may call it, of the authors. Then the author will speak. But before that, I want to call on, Her Lordship, the mayor of our capital city, that's Banjul, Mayor Rohey Lowe, who is the chief launcher of the second book titled The Rise and Fall of the Jammeh Dictatorship. Lord Mayor, the floor is yours and you are highly welcome to this program.
Good evening. Mr. Moderator, thank you very much for giving me the floor. Your Excellency Alhaji Hussein Dabo, party leader of our great party, the United Democratic Party, a father and a mentor. My dearest brother, Honorable Madi Ceesay, honorable parliamentarians here present, the publisher, Mr. Fode Balde, Mr. Bakari Sane, a friend and indeed a brother, Mam Sali Jarju, a woman of substance, the Ceesay family, distinguished invitees, comrades and friends here present, ladies and gentlemen, I greet you all. It is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today at the launch of such a significant work, the rise and fall of Jammeh's dictatorship, by my dear friend, a comrade, a mentor, and a true advocate for justice, Honorable Madi Ceesay. My dear comrade, I have witnessed your journey firsthand, from your tireless work as an activist and advocate for the rights of the Gambian people, to your steadfast commitment to truth and accountability in our nation's history. Today, we are all here not only to celebrate the books you have written, but also an honor to honor the resilience, the courage, and the integrity you have demonstrated throughout your life. This particular piece of work is more than just a historic account. It is a powerful narrative that documents the rise and fall of an era in our country's history, an era marked with authoritarianism, fear, and oppression under the regime of Yahya Jammeh. But it is also a story of hope, resilience, and the unwavering strength of the Gambian people. My dear brother, through your meticulous research, you have illuminated the many layers of Jammeh's rise to power, examining the very circumstances that enabled his authoritarian rule and the deep roots of the political turmoil that followed. You have recorded the political landscape during his reign, not just as an observer, but as a participant, someone who lived and breathed the realities of those living, trying to navigate this climate of fear and control. Your historical analysis is both precise and comprehensive. You have meticulously examined the complexities of Jammeh's governance, delving into the human rights violations, the silencing of opposition, and the manipulation of power that mark his regime. Yet, even as you reflect on the dark chapters of our nation's history, you have done so with an eye towards the light that emerged at the end. The resilience of the Gambian people, the courage of those who stood up to tyranny, and the ultimate peaceful transition of power. The most remarkable aspect of this book is how it places us in the middle of our own history. It gives us a clear understanding of what happened, not just what we know, but why we know it and how. We as a people resisted, fought, and ultimately won over oppression. This book is a powerful reminder of the collective strength that lies in unity and resistance, a force that no dictator can forever suppress. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this book is not just a reflection of the past, but a beacon for our future. As we continue to build our democracy and strengthen our institutions, your work serves as a critical tool for all of us, the young and old, leaders and citizens alike. It provides invaluable lessons for those who wish to understand the challenges we overcome and those that still lie ahead. This is not just a book for scholars, it is for all Gambians. Therefore, I invite everyone to own a copy. It is for those who fought on the front lines, for the families who lost loved ones, for the voices who were silenced but never forgotten, and for the next generation who must never forget the lessons of our past. Madi, my dear brother, your work represents not only your immense dedication to truth and justice, but also the deep commitment you have to ensuring that history is never forgotten, and that the sacrifices of those who fought for a better Gambia are honored. You have given us a gift that will guide our future, help us reflect on our past, and remind us of the power we each have in shaping the future of our country. Thank you, Honorable Madi Ceesay. Jeff Comrade, Abaraka, my brother, Jarama, my mentor and friend, for your extraordinary contribution. Your work will forever be remembered as a cornerstone in the building of a better, more transparent and democratic Gambia. Let us all take a moment to celebrate Madi's achievements, his courage and his invaluable service to our nation. Congratulations, my friend, and may your work continue to inspire and empower us all. I now, ladies and gentlemen, have the honor to launch the book, The Rise and Fall of the Jammeh's Dictatorship. I thank you all.
I have to congratulate your lordship. Yeah. This is a powerful statement. I think this is the most, you're one of the most, descriptive, powerful statement that you have ever made. Well done, and thank you for supporting our author.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we have this book. So how many women do we have? Tahawlen jigeni. Tahawlen. Aha. Sali yow mom sa affaire daf ma neex. Kuy jigen dogal taxaw.
So bay jigen ni nak.
Xam nga suma bayang fi. Bo mo ta xaral bu rek. Suma bayang fi. Te moom moo gën a mën a support jigéen nag. So ñaata jigéen lañ am. Yow léegi indil book si. Léegi aca ñëw leen. Xaaral ma njëkk a joxagum Sali. Sali am one.
Sali.
Yaa ko moom. Waaw.
Indi leen.
Gaaw leen gaaw yaa ma ko joxeel. Xanaa yaa ko fay. Bul ma yaaxal suma sóobi nag. Aja ñëw leen jigéen ñi kaay leen. Gaaw leen nag su ma compté 1 2 3 ku ñëw rek bokkuloo. Léegi defal nii. Léegi su ma nee 1 nga ne 2. Ñaata lañ am?
1.
Déedéet 2 Sali jox nañ ko benn.
2.
Léegi.
3.
Léegi.
4.
Léegi.
5.
Hay léegi nga gis ñu oduma laa ñëw di bëgg a jël. ñu ñoo ko yor de.
6.
7. 8. 9. 10. Gaaw leen de damaa dem de. 11. 12. Gambien du dee wax jërëjëf amul benn problème. 13. 14. 15. 16.
17.
18. 19. 20. 21. 22. 23. Dene ñaara de sama am dama jëloon suma ñaari yaay itam. Waaw dama non
ñun amuñ bi. Amuñ.
Waaw acha am ñaata? 23. 24. 25. Gisal ma leen. 26. 27. 28. 29 30. Gis nga moo tax ma ne jigéen ñi ñoo ko yor. Book bi nag dañ leen koy jox xam nga lii is an empowerment. Mooy ne SDG si lu ñoo wax mooy SDG 5 du xam ngeen luñ wax. Mooy ne nañ jànga. Suñ buggee close the gap dañoo war a jànga. suñ pare na jeex na time xam nga Gambia du ñëw in time I'm sorry so sorry Jenna sorry I'm so sorry I don't want it to go back waaye léegi kaay bëgguma jigéen di dellu kaay waaw next time da nga war a ñëw in time waaw so lii alone is empowerment so te man maa ñëw la jox ko benn pour maa ñëw bi xam nga lii ku leen jox xaalis bi bala ñoo wax 1 hour mu jeex ndax ñu doonu ndaw suma rakka ji bala ñoo wax loolu mu jeex waaye lii soo ko riidee lu mu bon di nga si mun a lifin dara gis nga and I'm very serious about this I'm extremely serious about this gis nañ gaab bi ne ñun jigéen soo gisee mënuñoo am empowerment bu ñu war a am is simply because of lack of education bi moo tax suñ jàngee tuuti rek góor ñi dañu dee support man dama ko jëlee exemple si suma papa dafa ma dee pousse si place yoo xam ne sax man dama dee ragal fiil ne mënumaa dem foofu waaye li ma dee wax mooy su ma la poussé rek xamal ne xam naa ne you can fit there man lu ma làkk si Swedish ak German mënuma ko làkk si anglais waaye I try my level best di read di binda di forcé ba mun koo binda ak si anglais tey wallahi waat naa si yàlla dem bépp lu ma binda ngeen dégg ko ma wax ko maa ko bindal suma boppa kenn du ma bindal suma CEO bi mu maa dégg musuma koo nangu maa ko dee bindal suma boppa parce que li tax mooy jigéen ñi ñun dañ jàppa ñun dama ko dee wax saa yu nekk ma ne Gambie mënut a am 200 years ba pare ñu ne mënuñoo produce IGP bu góor bu jigéen loolu fu mus a am loolu mënut a am fenn vice président bu jigéen bi sax léegi nangu nañ ko su suñ loxo soo ñun fuñ dem kon ma li ma wax jigéen ñi mooy ne takkaleen seen diggali ñun ñoo mun a yóbbu suñ boppa fi ñu war a dem kenn du ñu fa yóbbu de ñun ñoo fa mun a yóbbu li ñu faa yóbbu wax naa leen ne the recipe is very simple you don't need anything nii duñ saaga ñun we have dignity personality dañ ko dee wane fu ñu nekk soo ñun luñ soxla rek mooy solidarity soo lu ma leen laaj mooy solidarity nañ leen ñu solidarity with each other su neexee yàlla fi ñu bëgg a egga dinañ fi egga I thank you all jërë ngeen jëf.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Your Lordship. Thank you very much. Thank you for the support, Your Lordship. Thank you. Ngom, is the video ready? The biopic?
Yes, it is.
That the voice is done by my
thanks to the one that made the president and his daughter Madi Ceesay that made the documentary.
Okay, so if the video is done,
I mean, if the video is ready, we want to watch it.
so Minister, let them go back and enjoy the video.
Yeah, please enjoy the video. It's a healthy break. You know, Maria Mandao, did the voiceover, and Ami MK Ceesay did the script. Okay, and it's a short documentary on the progress of the author, Honorable Madi MK Ceesay. Ngom? Yeah, go ahead, please. Yes. Is the video ready? Yes.
Very soon.
Please grab it.
Just a reminder to you all, I am Maya Mandao. The books are on sale, so you all can grab 1 or 2 copies if you want. Thank you.
Up to the okay, I have to go back on that maybe voice also the one that we did.
The author, Honorable Madi Ceesay, is the House representative of Circular West. He is a politician, journalist, and author of 3 books. Journalism, is it a blessing or a curse? Jaliba, Kuyateh, King of Kora, and the rise and fall of the Jami dictatorship. He hails from Pirai village in the Upper River region. He attended Camaraba Primary School in the Central River region before proceeding to Ratel Kula Secondary School in the Kanifing municipality in the year 1972 to 1976. Upon completion of his secondary education, he enrolled at Yundum Teaching Training College in 1978, but was later expelled from college whilst in his final year for his participation in the 1980 student strike. He earlier taught at Latrikuna Danso in the Kanifing municipality, Sukuta Primary and Jamanjeri Primary School in the Western Division, and now rebaptized West Coast Region and Jaramakutu Primary School in the Makati Island Division, and now refers to as Central River Region. From 2017 to date, Madi held the position of Chief Whip of the United Democratic Party, demonstrating his leadership and dedication to his party's vision. In his capacity as the House Deputy Minority Leader, his contribution to the discourse on governance and human rights, Madi's remarkable achievements have not gone unnoticed. He was honored with the International Press Freedom Award in 2007 by the Community for the Protection of Journalists, a prestigious recognition from a reputable international organization dedicated to safeguarding press freedom. This accolade reflects not only his courage and resilience as a journalist, but also his profound impact on the fight for freedom of expression. Madi's legacy is one of integrity, leadership, and an unwavering passion for justice, making him a truly remarkable figure. Currently, Madi serves as the chairman of the National Assembly Standing Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters, a role that underscores his unwavering commitment to justice and the protection of fundamental rights. He is also a member of the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States parliamentary delegation, where he has been actively engaged from 2017 to date. His influence extended further as a member of the Housing Standing Committee on Foreign Affairs, the Select Committee on Environment, and Standing Order Committee. Notably, he chairs the Gambia-Cuban Parliamentary Friendship Committee, fostering international relations and collaboration. Madi's legacy is profound and deeply felt. He is a distinguished figure in the realm of journalism. Served as the former president of the Gambia Press Union in the year 2005 to 2008, and the vice president of West Africa Journalists Association in the year 2006 to 2009. He held a esteemed title of Honorary Life President of the Association of Health Journalists. Ceesay stands as the Deputy Minority Leader in the National Assembly of the Republic of the Gambia. His career is marked by significant roles, including serving as the Deputy Executive Editor of the News and Report Weekly magazine in the year 1996 to 2006, General Manager of the Independent newspaper in the year 2006, Founder and Director of Media Agenda in 2009, further solidifying his impact on media landscape. Ceesay is a caring father, husband, grandfather, and a mentor for many. Speaks about his volumes, about his character and dedication to nurturing the next generation. Madi is indeed a legendary figure whose contribution will resonate for years to come. The author, Honorable Madi Ceesay, is the House Representative of
Thank you very much to Mariam and Ami for a job well done. That is a very, very good introduction to the life of our author. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor to call upon the author himself, Madi Ceesay, to give his remarks. I want to welcome you to the podium and once again to congratulate you and to thank you for your contribution to knowledge and also your contribution to explaining the Gambian story. Keep it up. more grease to your elbows. You are a very busy man, by all accounts, but the fact that you have been able to spare time to bring out, the triplets, as I call them, should send a nice lesson to everybody that however busy we are, we can find time to, contribute to knowledge. Domba, you are welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Your Excellency, Party Leader and Secretary General of the United Democratic Party and former Vice President and Foreign Affairs Minister of the Gambia, Honorable Lawyer Hussein Dabo. My dear sister, Honorable Mayoress of Banjul, who had made history, first ever mayor in Banjul, and Honorable Bibi Dabo, who also had played a very distinguished role in the development of this country, who served this country as Vice President, as Finance Minister, and also as Ambassador. Honorable Member Tambedu, the distinguished Ceesay family. It may be interesting for you to know that there's a regional grouping called the Ceesay lineage that does every 2-year conference. This year we had a Ceesay conference in Guinea-Conakry. Those members are here. Honorable distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all other protocols. Of course, our victim activists, Mr. Shirandao, John, and others. It is a pleasure to really acknowledge your support and help as far as this journey is concerned. I ventured in writing, actually in book writing, not long ago, but I can say the push factor or the person behind the encouragement is no other person but my own brother, Madi Ceesay, as he rightly said a few minutes ago. He encouraged me to write. He said, however busy you are, you've been in Parliament for a while, you've been a journalist for a long time, you need to write something. So he encouraged me to really write my memo, and I promised him that I was going to do it. And in fulfilling my promises, I wrote 2 other books and then presented it to him. My brother, thank you for that. I want to thank everybody sincerely from the bottom of my heart. But my inspirations of writing my life history is for my family, children, at least to be able to remember me long after I'm gone. Because without putting these things to paper, if I go, it will just be oral history. And as time goes on, it will fade away. That's why I decided to put pen to paper. And also for aspiring journalists and existing ones also. Because from the book, they could learn a lot. And for Jaliba, being the best in his time, we know before him, like in the 60s, early 70s, we have Lalokeba Drame. Nobody could have compared and disputed that fact. But right now, also, nobody can dispute the fact that Jaliba is actually the king of Kora. To have something also on paper that will remain here for many years after we are all gone, I thought that also is a wise decision. The final one, which is the rise and fall of the Jammeh dictatorship, really have captured so many violations of rights, ranging from Islamic scholars, politicians, soldiers, civil society, Islamic scholars, you can name them, and the media. I think we suffer the most. So I know the Truth Commission has really unearthed a lot of facts around that victimization, but then they are scattered in volumes. So I thought it wise that there should be a one-stop shop where you can have all these things. And that is what pushed me to write The Rise and Fall of Dictatorship. This book would start from in the 19th centuries, the 18th centuries, to people of Gambia who had contributed immensely to the development of this country, and also key players in our independence. The likes of J.C. Faye, the likes of Sir Dawda, Ibrahim Gaba Jahumpa, the likes of Francis Small. There are many. So that foundation was laid. Before you talk of a dictatorship, what was existing before? The democracy we had, of course, of which Honorable Bakari Dabo and his party, the People's Progressive Party, had contributed to, and other smaller parties like the UP and others. So those facts were the foundations to the beginning of the rise of the dictatorship, 1994 coup. And in the book also, 2 chapters were borrowed from the Camaraba, that is the story, the book written by our first president, Sir Dawda. 2 or 3 chapters were lifted, because the assault on democracy and other chapters, just to lay the foundation that we had democracy before the Jammeh era. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very grateful to all of you. Your presence alone is enough. But I would not also conclude this vote of thanks without thanking my family, my dear children, and my wives, 2 of who are here, in the names of Basi Baji and Fatou Wais Sanya. I am very grateful. Writing books takes a lot of time, and I must say they have really helped a lot in giving me the time to write many hours into the night. And to conclude, I want to thank my colleagues. I can notice the presence of 2 honorable members, Honorable Musa Baji of Talinding constituency, and Honorable Suleiman Sao of Central Bali. Dear colleagues, I'm grateful. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, Honorable Madi Ceesay, and well done for the excellent work. This is really a pride. All of us, the writers, are quite, pleased with this, effort. And now, I am happy he mentioned, Honorable Bakari B. Dabo here. I have this brother in the UK, Ibrahima. Every time he will tell me, when will that man bring out his memoir? I say, well, Honorable, since you are here, we are keenly awaiting your memoir. From 1967, when you joined the administrative cadre, up to as we speak, I think your story will be very, very interesting. We pray that you have the strength and the fortitude to bring out your memoir. Okay? It is a challenge from Hasum Ceesay. Your Excellency, Honorable Usainu Dabo, even before I have the singular honor to call you to the podium, another challenge. Recently, we came across your master's thesis in Canada that you successfully defended in 1973 on the history of constitutional development in the Gambia. Your Excellency, I want to encourage you to rework it into a book for a simple reason. Apart from that study, I know of only one other study on the history of constitutional development. And what I'm saying, I know it because I'm very, very familiar with the archives. I've been working there for the past 28 years. My former boss, Mr. Brahma Sanya, did a succinct, study of constitutional development, but he's mainly covered, the period, from the 1870s to 1947. Your work, which I have a copy of, I was able to download it, is much more expansive. So I wanted to, beg your indulgence, however busy you are, that work can be refurbished into a book, so that we will know, this young generation will know the importance of constitutional development in this country. We don't achieve our political rights in this country through riots or looting or burning. As you have well stated in your study, what all the advantages that we have gained so far as far as political rights are concerned was through constitutional development. We get one, our political leaders push for more. We get that, they push for more. We get that, they push for more. On that note, I have the singular honor, Your Excellency, to invite you as the Chief Guest of Honor to give your statement, and maybe you can do so from your seat. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator, my brother Hasum. I think this is the second time I'm sharing company with you for more than 30 minutes. I think the first was when I was in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We are compiling information on my guardian, Honorable Pierre Sinjai. You are writing a book on him. So you, as one of his words, you thought it fit to interview me, to have at least some, from my own perspective, something about Honorable Pierre Sinjai. And I think since then, I've been seen on the screens until today.
Thank you.
Yeah? And I'm similarly honored really to be with you on this auspicious occasion. And Chief Launchers, Madam Sally Jarju, the Lord Mayoress of Banjul, who the people of Banjul call Bur Banjul, the Chief Launcher, one of the Chief Launchers, and Jaliba Kuyateh in absentia. Want to acknowledge all of you, acknowledge the presence of my big brother, one who was also an inspiration for us. Because you did mention that Mr. Dabo still write his memoirs from 1967 when he entered the civil service. 1967 found us in school, and in fact, as young students of school and the Gambia High School, when we used to go to New Primate Street, I think junction of New Primate Street and Boxbar, we see the Volkswagen parked. That's us giving some inspiration that I also want to be like Bakar Punja Dabo. And that really inspired us and spurred us on to go on to universities and try to become what we are today. I also like to acknowledge the presence of his long-term friend. He calls me uncle. I don't know what he calls Bibi. Dr. Nyambiture. He calls me uncle. I don't know what he calls Bibi. I'd like to acknowledge his presence, as well as my brother and friend, Bemba Tambadu, the honorable members of National Assembly present here, and this very distinguished author, Honorable Madi Ceesay, whom I'm proud to have him as a comrade in the building of a Gambia that we want. Mr. Ceesay, we congratulate you and your family. And to Mr. Balde, I send my greetings to Fode. When you mentioned him, I started recollecting when we used to play pranks on the corridors of Gambia High School. Then we were in the sixth form together. We were all in the same class with Fode. And it would have been a singular pleasure for me to meet him here personally so that we can reconnect the old days in the classrooms of Gambia High School. I am particularly honored, let me say that I stand all protocols. I'm similarly honored to be invited to make a statement on this occasion. In fact, I never thought we were going to make any statement, but then extempore, we should be able to say a little bit about the importance of this event, the significance of this event. All over the world, journalists are daily chroniclers of events as they vote. They keep diaries that are undiluted, and at the opportune time, produce those diaries into books. I am sure if you go into the bookshops in the United States, you'll find books on the campaigns of the last presidential elections in the United States, and it's all collected by journalists. So this is an occasion that journalists have to be encouraged, or being encouraged, to really produce books, to write for the future, not only for the present but also for the future. Madi's writing started as a journalist when he was with the papers, and I used to read him, and I used to like his stories, because his stories I always saw as my own stories, just as these books that he has written, except for Jaliba, fall of the dictator Jammeh. Anyone sitting here, anyone who has lived in the Gambia from 1994 used really to sustain him in power. You see him using religion to entrench himself in power, and then you see him also disrespecting religion as if it's not a factor that is maintaining in power. Those two contradictions he was able to use. If you read the Mandi about Ismail Manjam, I had Bahaidara, Kausu, what was done to them was really humiliating Islam. Yet he relied on Islam to sustain himself in power. I wonder how a nation could have failed to notice stories that people like Madi Ceesay were carrying in our daily papers. And in doing so, I think they were a blessing to the nation. In those dark days, it was not a cause. There was blessing, because we would have been kept in the dark. We wouldn't have known what was happening if they did not write these things for us. So I don't think journalism has ever been a cause in this country. It has always been a blessing, because it is true the journalistic work that we were kept abreast of what was happening in this country. And when I say journalism, with no disrespect to the famous GRTS, and I do not mean journalists in the GRTS in those days, because GRTS was so compromised that it never carried the stories that really affect the Gambian people. But Madi's decision to really write 3 books, Carawal Sambasura representing the people of Serakunda West. In 2001, he was in fact nominated to be the National Assembly member for Pirai until the United Democratic Party decided to withdraw from that elections. It was then that he took a back seat, but then I don't know, I think he belonged, that he took a back seat, but then I don't know, I think he belonged to family. And indeed, your long residence in any part of the Gambia, I think help to qualify people who aspire to become National Assembly members in the particular locality in which they were then living. So I think that is how Madi really became National Assembly member for Serakunda West. And we of the United Democratic Party are very deputy minority leader. That shows what confidence the United Democratic Party has in him. Posting them in the bush, looking for the wild cassava. Having this, every provincial chair have done it, swim in the rivers or in the opportunity to live in that rural environment in which we grew. This book being read by them will tell them how their fathers lived in their young age. And I think every child, every family should really have this book in your home so that your children can read them. The other books, the rise, particularly the rise and fall of the Jammeh administration, of the Jammeh dictatorship. It is a book that any student of political science, particularly the earlier chapters, should really be interested in reading. It shows how Gambia evolved from a small colony being presided over by a lieutenant governor, military lieutenant governor, to a full constitutional government presided over by a president elected by the people of the Gambia. I think it is a book that every student of political science and every student of constitutional law must read. And from the chapter Democracy Overthrown, that should also be a read for all. And it should also help all of us to take a determined stand, a determined position that what occurred between 1994 and 2016 will never happen in this country. And that nothing will happen in this country that will give rise, and Gambians will resist anything that will give rise to what happened in 1994. Because that was the period that every Gambian lost his dignity. Those who wanted to speak, but for fear of being subjected to humiliation, just quiet. They were just quiet. Not because they supported the system, but because they did not want to be humiliated. And that I can understand. Others took risk. Whatever the cost it might be, we will speak and we will write, and Madi happened to be one of those people. That he will speak and he will write. When I read about his imprisonment and how his children were behaving, what meant in my mind was that, yes, probably that's how Numukunda was also behaving and acting. When myself and my colleagues were in prison, I thought that this is how my children were also reacting. And indeed, this is how they were reacting, because I read on my birthday of 2016, I read letters that my grandchildren had written. I think these were published. I had never, throughout my career as a politician, I had never shed tears until I read those letters. and listen to their tapes. So again, when I motivate these children, we are acting. When I say, well, exactly, this, I think this is how my own children, my own family was also. So Madi was writing for us all. He was speaking for us all. What happened to us? He just resorted to himself. And indeed, what I find a little bit emotional for me on the rise and fall of the Jamia is this is about I call him my son, Ibrahima Jankosolo Ceesay. That is Madi's son. He was in detention with me, young lad, very vivacious, yet very calm, so very respectful. The only crime he had committed was that his father was a journalist belonging to the United Democratic Party. And what happened to him? I do not want to, I can't say because of how it works in me. But I think Sally has said it all. These are lessons to all of us, that what took place during those dark days should not be allowed to repeat themselves. I think those are some of the missteps that we have taken. I mean, in the years that have gone by, and those missteps we certainly must avoid. We cannot allow them to happen again, because happening them to allow to happen again will really make nonsense of the mantra, never again. Madi, congratulate you, because if you had not written this, and as you say, you pass away, stories will fade. It's because when stories fade, you still have the stories, but it would have been like a library that has burned down. And when a library burns down, that is knowledge disappearing completely. So you are making us or Gambians to live and to know what has to live with and to know what has happened in those dark days. But yes, there's always hope. There's always hope. There's always hope. And that hope is what you and your colleagues are really pushing on the floors of National Assembly. And that hope is to ensure that this country we call the Gambia, this country that we are proud of, will be run in the way that we want. That is, there will be no tyranny. There will be no dictatorship in this country except the dictatorship of the Constitution and the tyranny of the law. I thank you very much, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you very much, our Chief Guest of Honor, Your Excellency.
I just want to add something.
Yes, go ahead. Your Lordship, go ahead.
For the first time, bi ma gisee suma papa jooy mooy bés bi Ibrahima Niang ko gaañoo. I can remember very well si guddi si man maam moom ñoo ànd dem ay Madi Ceesay nii bés boobu laa mos a gis si biir bëtoom rongoñam mi di rot. Ku baax moo nekk nii foofu laa am.
Thank you. Excellency, thank you for the statement. Very, very, profound, statement. And your last words, your last phrase, I think it deserves remembering. Dictatorship of the people and tyranny of the law. I think that is very, very, profound. And thank you very much. I remember this is the third time we are meeting in book launches. And we, the writers, and my role also the National Center for Arts and Culture, makes me to want to thank you for supporting writers. I mean, this is the third time I am meeting you at book launches, and thank you very much. And please, my challenge on, and you did not mention that. Go ahead. Yes.
I think your challenge is under very active consideration, and in view of the fact that this constitution, the 1997 constitution, there is some flesh being put on the skeleton, and I think those ones would have to be taken into account in order to update, to update it. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And please, in case you are requiring any yes.
Andrew Camara, MC Cham, MC Jallo, his father or uncle, Lumukunda Dabo, we are coming to Kero and Sambasira from, well, before independence to now. His father's role in the political development of this country up to now, a memoir coming from him would be internationally accepted, and we'll be very proud of it. And I think it is the opportune time for him to put everything together. I know he has the records. It's just a question of time and getting, dedicated 2 or 3 people who would help him put his memoir together, and which would be very worthwhile for this country as a political leader in this country. Like the challenge is also for Bibi Dabo. Please write your stories. They'll be interesting. They'll be very good for this country. You have sacrificed so much for this country. And if it is not written, it's going to be oral history. Government radio cancan. Eventually, we are going to lose a lot of information. And I think that the reading and writing culture in this country must be revived, must be encouraged. And I think books like that, memoirs from important people in this country, would add to the culture of reading and writing in this country. Thank you very much, Kathy.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Balde.
I want to add that it will be very interesting, especially the first day that my father came to Banjul and see the lights.
Your Lordship. In 2018, he was kind enough to grant me an interview when I was doing the book on P.S. Njai. He explained all that to me. Yes. Yes.
The lights. I understand he was jumping into
Yes, he explained all. That was he told me. In 1961. Yes. Anyway, thank you very much. Now, Mr. Silla, where are you? The proprietor of Yunus. Get ready. He has a very, very interesting. See, he wants to challenge her lordship. Before we come to the points, he wants to buy books for a certain category of people. You are welcome.
Okay. Thank you, all of you. Honorable, His Excellency, the former Vice President, Lawyer Hussein Dabo, and the Mayor of Banjul. Your father used to be my landlord as a young businessman in 1981. In 1982, I used to be in his shop at number 1 Albion Place. And I used to go to his shop and pay the rent to him. And I thank you, and I remember him very well when I had you, Malick, Lowe something. I'm not a good speaker anyway. I'm jealous of her for choosing the ladies to have the book. And I too, I want to do the similar thing by buying the book for all the men who has no beer, who are clean up like
Yeah, come.
Yes. Anyone who's like me,
come, please come.
I'll buy this book for them. Yes. You can bring those books.
Bring them.
Yes.
I'm Jaliba.
Yes. Okay. You can give it to them. Keep counting.
Let me help you. And identify those who don't have beers. Guy, no. Bring. No. Come, I have to look properly. I have to look. No, you counting. Let me see.
There is no
Okay. I've seen one. One.
Thank you.
Two.
No beer.
5, 6, 7, 8. This is 3, 5. I don't have beer. 9. Let me see. 10. Okay, then. 11. 12. Okay, I'm going to beer. 12. Huh?
But it's a small beer.
13. You know the small.
This is a baby beer.
14.
It's a baby beer.
15. 16. 17. We're stopping at 20. 18. Papa, you are okay. You're so okay. In my book. 19. You're amulo 20. Be 500. Be 400. Okay. Why don't I be? 24, 27, 28, 29, and you're a conyana, Major. That's it, you're a conyana. Dua. I'll get it. 35, 37, 38, 39. Okay. And uncle, member.
Okay, I thank you all. Madi Ceesay is a friend of mine, a good man. And I have his children at Yunus English School.
We have 42.
And we thank all of you, and many of you, I believe that your children are with us in our schools,
43.
in Busumbala, in Sarepate, and also in Kotu East. And this is a school called Yunus English School, and I met him there. He happened to be a wonderful person, and he advised us in many different angles. And therefore, I would like him to be successful in life. Okay, and I thank the Honorable Dabo for, this is the first time I met him, and I'm glad that I met him for the first time. So thank you all.
Thank you, thank you very much. Thank you, and thank you for your creative, support too. So now, can I have your attention, please? Your attention, please. Can we have Modungam? Modungam? Where's Modungam? Modungam is among the movers and shakers of this book launch. Yeah, with Mariama here standing, giving me notes and whispers. Modu, you have a song for the occasion, so you are welcome. Sorry? Okay, a microphone, yeah.
Eradicated many people. You are evangelist, fight for human rights. You feed many people. You are the father of the fatherless, the voice of the voiceless. Madi Ceesay is a legend, a legend. Honorable is a legend, a legend. Madi Ceesay is a legend, a legend. Honorable is a legend, a legend. You are a father and a grandfather. You are a teacher, you are a journalist. You are an MP, you are an author. That's the reason why we got here to make a history, my Lord. Oh, yeah. It's a Monday morning. Madi Ceesay is a legend, a legend. Honorable is a legend, a legend. Madi Ceesay is a legend, a legend. Honorable is a legend, a legend. I have to raise my voice, to praise a legend. This is a legend, a legend. Honorable is a legend, a legend. Madi Ceesay is a legend, a legend. Honorable is a legend, a legend. Thank you.
Thank you, Moru. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I want to call upon Mariama. Mariama, now you can come and start selling the book for the next 5 minutes. But I just want to call Basi. Where is Basi? Basi Bay?
Yes, let him call them.
Basi Bay? Where is Basi?
Pronounce and be fun.
Yes, you can have a point.
Yes.
You can have a point.
Assalamu alaikum. I think the Olembai Kunda here attending Ceesay Kunda's book launching. I think I will contribute towards this particular event. I just want to read a poem, and this poem will be to Honorable Madi Ceesay. And I believe you will like it, inshallah. Man with inspiration and dignity. Man with unity and universality. Man with humanity and transparency. Softly he do speaks. Majestically he do walk. Professionally he behave. A native of his beloved nation, the Gambia. A man who don't talk only, but he work proactively in national development. Madi Ceesay is a beacon of hope, a proud son of his beloved nation, the Gambia. Thank you and congratulations.
Okay. Thank you, Basi. Thank you. So, Mariama, now you can, sell the book. The prices, and then I give you 2 minutes to do that before we close the program. Thank you.
And we also have some certificates for the community.
But go ahead.
Good evening once again. The books are on sales for those of you who haven't grabbed your copy yet. So my sales girls are over there. You all can go there. The prices of the books are The Rise and Fall of the Jame Dictatorship is $1,000. Jaliba Kuyateh, the King of Kora, that's $400. Journalism, is it a blessing or a curse? That's going for $500. So you all can go and grab your copies. The girls are over there, and thank you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So Modu, you have certificates to present, because in a minute's time I'll close the program. Please. In 1 minute time.
Okay.
Please.
Yes, but just be a second.
Is it on? For those of you who got your copies and wanted to be signed, you can kindly go to the high table. Honorable is over there to sign your copies for you. Thank you. We also have certificates for our chief lunches and the committee members to appreciate their hard work and their commitment. It was such a long journey It was such a long journey. It wasn't easy at all for all of us, you know, but alhamdulillah, we have reached the day today, and we solely we are happy to be present here, and we thank all of you for being present here. Hello. Now we'll call on Honorable Malick Lowe, the chief launcher of the Rise and Fall of the Jammeh Dictator. We have a certificate for you. Yes. That's what it is.
Yes. It's certificate too. I'm certified. This is coming in. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Now we call on Sally Jarju. Sally, you have a certificate here. You are highly welcome.
Thank you. Congrats to you.
You're welcome. Now we're going to the community, the member of the community, the organizers. Can we have Aja Madi Ceesay, the assistant chairwoman of the community? Please hurry up, Aja. Betty. Where's the camera? Can I have Yadikon Ceesay, please? Where's Yadikon? Ami MK Ceesay? Can I have Fatma Ceesay? Fatma Ceesay? Ami Ceesay? Where is Ami? Our Ceesay?
Remember the last time?
Can you please come here? I have only 1 minute to give out the certificates. Where is Kati Ceesay? Kati? Where is Kati? Mariama Ceesay? Kati. Yes. Can I have Kati here? Kati. Fatimata Gomez. Where is Fatimata Gomez? Modu, this certificate is highly recommended for Hazum Ceesay. Honorable said that he appreciates your effort and your contribution to this event and making it successful. So this is for you. And this is for Modu, the chairman of this event. Without you, this event will be trust. And this is for me, Mariam and Dao. Oh yes. Thank you. I have another one here for Jaliba Kuyateh, but unfortunately, he's not present here today. So, can I have some? From Matadabo, can you please come and stay for your certificate? From Matadabo? Thank you very much. I really appreciate all of you being present here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the singular honor now to call upon Imam Tambedu to give the closing prayer, and then I, as the MC, hereby declare the program closed, and thank you everybody for coming. Imam, just come and help us with the prayers.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ونسأل الله رب العرش العظيم أن ينفع هذه الكتب صعب الجنبية وأن يجعلها مباركا وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you and safe journey.
But you have a good camera? Yes.
Can you take us?
Thank you. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
No, we came as well.
Thank you.
Cool, huh? Don't forget the flag.
This thing is in the rock. I will tell you.
Join. Great.
Whilst in his final year for his participation in the 1980 student strike, he added a in the Caliphate municipality, Sukta Primary and Tamanjali Primary School in the Western Division, Coast Regional and Private School and now refers to as Central Region. From 2017 to date, he held the position of Chief Whip of the United Democratic Party, demonstrating his leadership and dedication to his party's vision. In his capacity as the House Deputy Minority Leader, his contribution to the discourse on governance and governance, Madi's remarkable achievement have not got qualities. He was honored with the International Press Freedom Award in 2007 by the Community for the Protection of Journalists. His years with a reputable international organization dedicated to safeguarding press freedom
Yeah, just.
Madi's legacy is one of integrity, leadership, and an unlimited passion for justice, making him extremely remarkable. Currently, he serves as chairman of the National Assembly Study Committee.
So, I like a group. Time out of like that. Group. Dolitari. Yeah. Okay.
He is also a member of the Organization of African Caribbean and Pacific States
It's okay.
parliamentary delegation, where he has been actively engaged from 2017 to date. His influence extended further as a member of the House Standing Committee on Foreign Affairs, the Select Committee on Environment, and Standing Order Committee, with which he chairs the Caribbean Human Parliamentary Friendship Committee, fostering international relations and collaboration. Madi's legacy is profound and deeply felt. He is a distinguished figure in the realm of journalism. Served as the former president of the Gambian Press Union in the year 2005 to 2008, and the vice president of West Africa Journalists Association. In the year 2006 to 2009, he held a esteemed title of Honorary Vice President of the Association of Health Journalists. Ceesay stands as the Deputy Minority Leader in the National Assembly of the Republic of the Gambia. His career is marked by significant roles, including serving as Deputy Executive Editor of the News and Report magazine in the year 1996 to 2008. General Manager of the Independent newspaper in the year 2006. Founder and director of Speaking Agenda in 2009. For the service party at his Newman on Indian Ceesay is a caring father, grandfather, and a mentor for many in space. About his values, about his character and dedication to nurturing the next generation. Madi is a legendary figure whose contribution will resonate for years to come.
Nye ibe jini na pejo ro. Ikanda pejo jubel. Ikanda pejo jubel. Anem boko jubel. Par dinin table min sa. La lamba. Okay, man. Camaraba official, you can follow. Camaraba official. Facebook. So nadalo ni milbiji. Ni be kijere because ni ko ma kila mo gas. Ni ya follow rek ni ya be nadalo jela be jurumani ya follow.
From 2017 to